May I please show you how I throw even more flavor at my waakye, my Ghanaian rice and beans. Yeah, I'm throwing flavor at it so hard it won't even know what hit it. First things first, soak your black-eyed beans for at least 2 hours. And yes, you can use any beans for this. Black beans, red beans, just whatever beans you have on hand you can use, okay? And soak it. Now take a look. That's a lot of dirt. And this came out straight from a package, friends. So that's your proof right there. You need to wash it. So I'm doing that right now and thoroughly doing so too. Now we're going to cook it in a pressure cooker today because sister madame ain't got the time to wait around, all right? I had other things cooking, so I had to really maximize my time and be efficient with the little time I had on hand. So I've added some slices of onion and also 1 clove of garlic to sort of start jump-starting the flavor, layering right away. So yeah, we're going to pressure cook that. Now, the next layer of flavor we're going to throw at this waakye is tolo beef, which is cured lamb. Yes, cured with a lot of salt. So I'm boiling it first to extract some of that salt. You can substitute the tolo beef with your sausage, your bacon. And if you do use bacon or sausage, then you don't have to boil. You just have to render some of the fat off and also introduce a little bit of brown action to it. So sort of saute it. Now we have tolo beef broth, which is flavorful and is also salty. So we're not going to add any salt to our dish here. I have melted some cold pressed coconut oil because I really want that coconut flavor in here. And I'm now going to brown my tolo beef pieces. We're still layering flavor. So I add about a handful of chopped onions. And we're going to saute everything together. Whatever we can do to make our waakye more exciting in flavor. Now, this is our broth from the tolo beef. We're going to incorporate that later, so we'll set that aside. Now, another flavor we're adding is a pinch of curry powder. I tell you, the warm spices in here, just a pinch, will go a long way to make the flavors even more exciting. Once you've gained enough brown on your tolo beef pieces, or whatever meat you choose for this recipe. So if you were to choose bacon, sausage, or any other cured meats, such as even ham, then you would skip the boiling, unless you want to extract a little more salt from them. All right, so now our tolo beef pieces are less salty, but they are more exciting in flavor. Our beans also are tender. We can crush them between 2 fingers. And so now we go in with our waakye dye, which is our sorghum leaves. Just 2 of them will go along with. That's baking soda, and it gives it more flavor too. It gives it a meatier flavor, and we have also now seasoned it with salt. Now we'll pressure cook it a further 5 minutes. We pressure cooked it initially for 20 minutes, all right, friends? And so that way the beans will now become colored. See how the color has changed? And like I said, the combination of the baking soda and the waakye leaves ultimately gives the entire dish a meaty flavor and earthiness too, which I know you'd love. I've chosen to use jasmine rice, which is preferred for making waakye in my household. And you want to wash your rice. You saw what happened when we washed the beans, even though it was packaged. Yeah. If there's ever a question in your mind if you should wash your rice or not, wash it. Now, we've gone in with a little more of the cold pressed coconut oil, a handful of onions. Cook the onions for under 30 seconds, all until fragrant, and then we go in with the rice. We're going to toast the rice. When you wash your rice, because of the water that surrounds it, it becomes more penetrable, which is great because we're going to add more flavor. Right now, vegetable bouillon, followed by a couple of bay leaves. Oh yeah, or just 1 bay leaf will do. All right, now we're going to toast it until it is completely dry, fragrant, and penetrated with all this amazing flavor. So yes, have you noticed we're cooking this waakye like angamo? Braised rice. So now we're braising the waakye. Hey, waakye with swag and personality. We're adding the beans now. And this is the garlic clove. And because it was pressure cooked with the beans, it's so tender, I just mash it and add it. And I'm only splitting up the beans because my husband doesn't eat tolo beef. He's pescatarian. So I'll be cooking his waakye on the side without the tolo beef. Now this is the tolo beef broth. And remember, we extracted all the salt from the tolo beef into the broth. So therefore, now we're using that broth to season the rice. We seasoned the beans when it was tender enough. Now we need to season the rice. And we only used about 2 cups of the tolo beef broth, not all of it. And that was just enough moisture to cook the rice. So we turned the heat down to medium low and placed the lid on and cooked for about 12 minutes or until the water dries out. But the rice and beans are still coated with moisture. So we want it to still be moistened in the pot, all right? And you want to go in and stir it, fluff it up, move the rice and beans around, all right? So that way it can now cook with the steam. The steam can go through the rice pieces. Now, before you throw the lid back on, you want to add your cured lamb pieces and fold them in. That is a beautiful pot of deliciousness, friends. Now, trap the steam with your parchment paper or your foil or your banana leaves and the lid. Turn the heat down to low and cook for 30 minutes. And look at all that condensation. Wow, I'm glad we caught that with the paper. All right, so now you want to go back in and stir it. And it should be soft. It should be tender, but still fluffy because we braised this waakye. Typically and originally, waakye needs to be very tender, soft, almost sticky. Actually, sticky is the best. But because we braised this one, it's still tender but fluffy, which is great. When the waakye is done cooking, you want to go in with a little more of that cold pressed coconut oil because the taste and aroma of it tends to dissipate over time when it's cooked. So a final small amount reintroduces that beautiful coconut flavor, which is adorable. And it also gives it gloss. And yes, this was a feast. Did you notice? And because this is braised waakye, instead of hard boiling some eggs, I made some omelets because that's how we'll typically have our braised anguamo in Ghana. And let me tell you, this is one of the best waakye feasts I've ever thrown down. And I hope it inspires you. Like I said, you can substitute your tolo beef with your sausage, your bacon, your ham, just whatever cured, flavorful meat you have on hand. And yes, some talia, garifoto, your chibum or your omelets, your fish gravy. And I have a recipe on this, by the way, so you can check it out. Nanabe's Kitchen fish gravy. I just added some chunks of vegetables here to make it colorful. And instead of regular shito, we use the green shito, which I also have a couple of recipes on, and what goes better with the waakye feast than kele willy. My children will sometimes annoy me by calling it kele willy. Or my bro for semino. Kele willy saying. And then we also had our yam salad. Friends. Yes, so Ghana yam salad. I'm telling you. And you have your green from your battered lettuce. This plate is a quintessential plate of comfort. And let me tell you. Actually, let me now tell you. How about just give this recipe a shot? So you can tell yourself. I don't have to tell you. You just have to try it. So you can also become a believer, friends. And that bite was heavenly because it was layers upon layers upon layers of exciting textures and flavors and aromas. Just name it. I hope that you can put this recipe together. This feast was timely and very special. We had this on New Year's Eve. And everybody in my household had something special that they loved about the feast. My girls and my husband, they loved this potato salad. The coolness it presented to this very warm plate of comfort food was amazing. Thanks so much, friends, for watching. Make it a great day and have fun especially in that kitchen.
Thank you, beautiful person, for watching the video all the way to the end. Kindly leave me a comment and subscribe down below. And don't forget to share the video as well. Also, watch more videos. It is chop time, and here in Anaba's kitchen, chop time is always yes, friends. So pull up a chair. We are all friends and family here.